change is presented as an intentional and positive process, approached with openness rather than fear. The idea of introducing meaningful transformation is described as motivating and forward-looking. Throughout history, the British monarchy has endured major challenges, including invasions, abdications, and global conflicts. However, current developments within the royal household are described as a potentially significant shift in influence within a generation. It is suggested that the heir to the throne has spent years observing, maintaining a public image of composure and duty, while privately preparing for a more active role. Reports from within royal circles indicate that strategic decisions may already be forming behind the scenes. Attention is drawn to the possibility that certain individuals connected to the royal family could be affected by these changes. The focus is not on whether action will occur, but rather on the extent and nature of that action. To understand the motivations behind these developments, it is important to examine earlier personal experiences. A major influence was the separation of the heir's parents and the involvement of another figure in that situation. The relationship between the father and this individual reportedly began during the mid-1980s, while both were still married to other partners. When private conversations became public in the early 1990s, the situation caused widespread public reaction. For the children involved, this was not merely a public controversy but a deeply personal and emotional experience. Accounts from a royal biographer indicate that both children felt a strong sense of loyalty toward their mother and developed lasting discomfort and distrust toward the individual connected to the situation. Communication between them was described as limited and uneasy. In a widely known televised interview in the mid-1990s, the mother openly spoke about the strain caused by the relationship, making a remark that became widely quoted. Privately, she experienced significant emotional distress, including mental health struggles, which were witnessed by her children. When the father later married this individual in 2005, the heir publicly demonstrated support by taking part in the ceremony. However, observers have suggested that this outward composure may have concealed deeper internal conflict. Early interactions between the heir and the new family member were reportedly marked by tension and discomfort. Further insight from a memoir published years later described how both children had expressed opposition to the marriage at the time. The narrative portrayed the individual in a negative light during those earlier years and included claims that private information had been shared with the media in ways that were perceived as damaging. While these perspectives were shared publicly by one sibling, the other has remained more reserved, maintaining a polite but distant public stance. The difference between politeness and emotional connection is stressed. Maintaining composure is important for a potential king, although it may not entirely reflect personal thoughts. The emotional influence of past events is said to have persisted across time. With the promise of increased authority in the future, it is possible that personal experiences will impact decisions concerning positions, responsibilities, and repercussions inside the organization. At the same time, a progressive shift in duty is already beginning. It is underlined that the successor is not passively waiting, but rather actively preparing for leadership. Recent events suggest that authority is being shifted in increments. One major development, announced near the end of 2025, is the addition of new responsibilities for royal endorsements. Beginning in 2026, the heir and spouse were officially authorized to issue royal warrants for certain suppliers. This role has practical implications, as it allows selected enterprises to exhibit official royal household recognition. Previously, this task was reserved for the ruling monarch and consort. Expanding this authority signifies a shift toward involving the next generation in the monarchy's core functions. Royal commentators have called this endorsement system as prestigious and important. In addition to these obligations, the heir has taken on a larger role in representing the monarchy on international issues, signaling an increasing shift in authority and leadership. In late 2025, the heir to the throne represented the king at a big international climate summit in Brazil. This appearance displayed active leadership rather than a passive status, with obligations comparable to those of a deputy sovereign. Internal sources indicate that plans for larger institutional changes are in the works. According to a prominent British journal, there are plans to streamline the next coronation ritual in order to better correspond with current national values. discussions with close allies reveal an understanding of the monarchy's financial and social demands, as well as a preference for a more streamlined and purposeful structure that prioritizes relevance and efficiency. A top official working in a well-known environmental effort associated to the heir stated that long-term planning has been underway for years. The principle that drives these initiatives is described as progressive evolution rather than abrupt transformation. This contrast emphasizes a strategy based on careful adjustment rather than abrupt interruption. Editorial commentary from a royal-focused publication adds to this viewpoint, stating that all responsibilities within the royal household are expected to be examined as part of this process. This comprises not just key personalities, but also extended members and their respective tasks. The redistribution and reassessment of influence is thus already underway, raising concerns about how authority will be wielded and which individuals may be most affected. The current consort status after the reigning monarch's death is an important factor to consider. Currently, the consort has an official title that involves public duties, institutional backing, and a prominent participation in national and charity activities. This role gives you access to resources, staff, a set calendar of engagements, and the opportunity to work with a variety of philanthropic organizations. However, constitutional tradition suggests that this position will change dramatically following the monarch's death. The title would change to that of a widowed consort, which provides recognition but no formal responsibilities or authority within the monarchy's governance framework. The distinction between symbolic status and operational power is especially essential at this point. The new monarch would then have the ability to make decisions about residence, public engagement, and continued royal duties. Options include staying in existing housing, moving to a private residence, or altering the level of public involvement. Observers in royal circles believe that a full-time return to a private house is a likely eventuality. The former consort's level of public involvement would be totally determined by the new monarch's inclinations. Possible ways range from continuous participation in specific events to a progressive reduction in obligations, eventually allowing for retirement from official tasks. According to royal experts, all areas of public and private duties would be reviewed under new leadership. Although the position's title would remain same, it would not guarantee sustained prominence in national life. Personal opinions play an important part in this situation. According to reports, the consort values the obligations that come with the role and has demonstrated a strong personal commitment to them. There is also evidence of a desire to maintain the current system for as long as feasible. Regardless of these preferences, the transfer of authority is guided by constitutional realities. After the transition, the incumbent monarch's influence would no longer apply, leaving future status in the hands of a successor, whom observers frequently describe as having a ceremonial but distant relationship. The consort's extended family is also an essential consideration. Their public awareness and prospects have grown as a result of their relationship with the monarchy. Analysts believe that future leadership may reconsider the extent to which such relationships merit continued recognition or involvement. The consort has 2 adult children from her previous marriage. While they do not hold official titles, their association with the royal household has resulted in heightened public attention and access to select occasions. One is well known for their culinary skills, while the other is affiliated with the arts. Their roles are unofficial, but their proximity to the institution has helped boost their public personas. They've attended significant royal ceremonies alongside the monarch and queen. Camilla has a sister, Annabel Elliot, who has been a close friend and informal counselor in Camilla's family. There have been questions about how Annabel may have been funded or supported by royal arrangements, which William's staff will thoroughly investigate. William has previously established a precedent for evaluating such situations. When building his own team, he reportedly removed Camilla's staff members. According to royal expert Christopher Anderson, William's decision was a savvy business move rather than a snub. He wants his own team in place. This approach demonstrates that family ties and inherited support do not immediately transfer to a new reign. You must earn your way inside King William's palace. Camilla helped the Parker Bowles family acquire their position. As Camilla's role diminished, so did their access to the royal family. This is the unpleasant truth about royal relationships. The term exiled may sound dramatic. The truth could be more quietly painful, a gradual loss in access, invites, and inclusion. It will not be a major public statement, but rather a gradual closure of doors. Invitations that were formerly easy to get by may now need specific requests, and they may finally cease to exist entirely. In the British royal family, being forgotten might be more damaging than being publicly dismissed. Diana learned this lesson. Andrew witnessed it. Harry had to deal with it as well. The Parker Bowles family might be next. William's vision, a smaller crown with no place for accessories. William's view of the monarchy is clear. He wants it to be skinny. He argues that the royal family has grown too large, expensive, and removed from daily life in Britain. He appreciated how his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, won respect by consistency and discipline rather than showy behavior. He witnessed his father taking over a monarchy that was struggling to justify its costs during difficult economic times. William plans to make significant adjustments. According to the Times, he wants a less formal coronation ritual that is more modern and approachable. He wants the monarchy, known as the Firm, to have more impact while remaining relevant. He does not want a huge number of royals and ex-royals residing near the throne. Some members have already been deleted. For example, Prince Andrew lost his titles as a result of his association with Jeffrey Epstein and will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Sarah Ferguson, the former Duchess of York, has also been demoted following previous scandals. The message of the current regime is plain. Nobody is too valuable to be excluded from the family. William is aware of the changes and is learning from them. According to royal writer Jenny Bond, the prospect of becoming king is daunting for William and Catherine, but William does not appear intimidated. He appears prepared. A smaller monarchy cannot accommodate an extended family member who does not hold an official position. Former stepchildren-in-law have no place at state occasions, nor do people tied to the throne only by personal ties receive honorary positions. Camilla's children are lovely people with thriving private lives, but they are not royals. When William becomes king, they will no longer have royal status. In his vision of a focused monarchy that emphasizes impact and relevance, there is no need to keep them on board. William's vision embodies clarity, not brutality. Clarity might be especially important in the royal family. Insiders reveal the strain behind the surface. The palace wishes to draw attention to the friction between the future king, William, and the current Queen Camilla. William and Camilla present a professional image. They attend gatherings together, smile for the cameras, and greet everyone pleasantly. However, royal experts and insiders reveal a different reality behind the surface. According to Christopher Anderson, who is intimately acquainted with the House of Windsor, William tolerates Camilla rather than loves or respects her. He also mentioned that Camilla has always been terrified of William, which is strange given that she is his stepmother and occupies a significant position in the royal family. According to royal expert Ian Pelham-Turner, Camilla is also feeling the tension. He believes she sees William attempting to cause problems and has requested Charles to solve them. This indicates that she feels intimidated and is concerned that William may gain influence. There are several minor but crucial instances that emphasize this tension. For example, when William reportedly refused to bow to Camilla during a public engagement, royal observers took notice because such behavior is expected given her rank. The palace made no comment, but in this world, quiet speaks volumes. According to a source close to Camilla's family, William has grown to like Camilla and they now have a familial relationship. However, the source stated that there is a lot to overcome. These terms do not imply proximity. Instead, they allude to a transient calm. This calm is fragile. It works presently because both parties agree that confrontation would benefit neither of them. But after Charles is gone and William becomes king, everything may change. William would no longer have to play nice. Kings do not typically have peaceful ties with those they tolerate. What will King William V truly do? The expert's verdict. After everything that has occurred, what will William do? Royal specialists take care not to make wild predictions. The British monarchy isn't about drama. There will be no public announcements, exiles, or decrees from Buckingham Palace. The Crown typically functions discreetly. However, reports from royal experts provide a clear picture. According to Joe Little of Majesty magazine, Camilla will retain her title of Queen Dowager as per convention. William will respect that, but all aspects of her public and private life will be scrutinized. This suggests that her position may be evaluated and possibly reduced. Christopher Anderson says that, while Camilla may still attend select royal functions, her public appearances will be significantly fewer and less frequent. According to Royal Central, Camilla will have no constitutional role as Queen Dowager. The incoming king will assess her charitable activity, public appearances, and living arrangements. Camilla's family understands the situation better. Camilla has always been responsible for their proximity to power. If her influence decreases, so will theirs. Will they be formally cut off? No, but they may no longer be invited to state events or granted access to the palace. Experts agree that it is not William's personal intention, but rather that they do not align with his vision for the monarchy. William has spent his entire adult life preparing to become king. He's learned from previous missteps and scandals. Camilla's and her family's past provide him with particularly intimate lessons. When he becomes king, he will do things his own way. For Diana's son, this is about justice, not vengeance. The British royal family has lasted for 1,000 years through adaptation. Each reign brings about changes in rules and loyalty. William will also bring adjustments. He is already shaping the monarchy in his own quiet and careful manner. It is unknown whether Camilla's family will be marginalized or formally retired, but King William V will decide who is a member of the monarchy. Those who join because of Charles may find themselves excluded from what happens later. If you found this video interesting, please subscribe. The palace drama is only begun. Please share your opinions in the comments. Do you think William will be kind to Camilla's family? Or is the time running out? See you at the next one.